can't see anybody. I'm here all by myself. Well, shopping for Christmas presents is very hard for me. I don't like it at all. And when you hear about my background, you'll know why. I have to find an adjective to describe the Christmases of my youth. And the only thing I could come up with was maybe normal. I mean, we decorated, we had a tree, we had presents, we had turkey, we went to church. So my parents checked off most of the boxes, but not all of the boxes. They didn't check off any of the fun boxes. I didn't make cookies with my mom. We didn't sit around and sing Christmas carols. We didn't drink hot chocolate. And I didn't have a Christmas stocking with my name on it. It gets worse. But I forgave my parents because I know that they were children of immigrants and they didn't have any boxes under their tree probably at all. So I forgave them. I mean, my mother was one of 11 children, and my mother, if you know on Facebook where they say, find out what actress you would be or what role you would play in those stupid games. Well, my mother would be Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind. She'd be the one who would say, as God is my witness, I'll never be hungry again. Now, Scarlett was ready to steal and cheat and kill and all that stuff. Not my mother. My mother would reuse and recycle. She knew how to do that before even the names were even coined. When it came to hand-me-downs, my mother had a gold star. And when she went into the thrift shop, the salespeople stood up at attention. That woman could stretch $1. My father was only one of 3 children, but he was only the only boy. And my grandfather wanted him to succeed. And we lived in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, where Bethlehem Steel employed like 80% of the population. And my grandfather gave him this advice. What you need to do is you need to quit school. I quit school when you were 16, because at the steel, the good jobs go to the men who work there the longest. You get out of school now, you be in the steel, you have 2 years seniority before the others graduate, and you be ahead of them. For how long? And that's what my father did. And my father and my mother both wanted the American dream. They wanted a nice car, they wanted a nice house, they wanted a TV set, and they wanted to send their kids to college, and they were willing to work hard and achieve those goals, and there wasn't a lot of time for fun. Now, when my mother would go shopping for my Christmas presents, you're going to be very sad about this part. Every year without fail, I got a new pair of mittens, a new wool hat, some socks, and underwear. I got those every year. I even could tell which present was which because my mother saved the boxes and sometimes the wrapping paper. But if you called it on her, you said, oh, you always give Betty Ann the same presents every year, she would beg to differ with you because on alternate years I got an umbrella or bedroom slippers. But my father, the one who wanted to be successful, a successful businessman, a good provider, he would chip in at Christmas time. And every Christmas I got the one present that I wanted more than anything. And I know, because I remember them, the Betsy Wetsy doll, the Tony doll, the dollhouse, the record player, and my father even bought one that was stereo, the hairdryer with the bonnet, and senior year I got a portable Olivetti typewriter in a powder blue case. So I can't complain. I can't complain at all. But I have to tell you about the first Christmas I had that felt like Christmas supposed to be. I was dating Joe, and I was our first year in college, and his mother hardly knew me, but she invited me over. And his brother had a girlfriend, and she invited her over too. I walked in that house, and hanging on the banister was a stocking with my name on it in sequins. Now, I have a long name, so it was Betty-Ann, but who cares? It was a stocking with my name on it. And there was one for the other girl, too. Her name was Ann, so she got her whole name on it. It was stuffed to the brim with packages, and I opened them up, and I think my mother-in-law, well, she didn't buy stocks, but if she did, it would be in Avon. I got hand cream and bubble bath and perfume and a lipstick and a pair of hand-knitted slippers. All of them were pink. Everything like strawberry and any pink lemonade. And Anne, the other girl, got everything in blue. And if that wasn't enough, I got pink pajamas and she got blue pajamas. To top it all off, she made us each handmade Raggedy Ann dolls. Wow. My set was made in pink, Anne's was in blue. None of that stuff did I need. None of that stuff did I even want. It was all a surprise. It was fun opening the presents, and it's still to today one of my favorite Christmases that I ever had. Now let's go back to my house. My father, the big provider, every year would go out to buy my mother a Christmas present. And every time he came home, she hated every single one. And I'm telling you people, it was very sad and very stressful. And he would buy her perfume and she'd say, "What do I need this for? I don't go anywhere. I have 4 kids at home all the time. We only have 1 car. I don't go anywhere. What am I supposed to use this for?" Yeah. And then he bought her a watch. And she said, "I don't need this fancy watch with diamonds in it." She says, "I have 2 watches I got at the thrift shop. They keep perfect time. What am I supposed to do with this?" And the one that's kind of funny was my sister, who's 18 years younger than me, I think she was probably about 16, thought that she could help this situation. And she took my father shopping and she bought my mother a coat, like a Sunday coat to wear to church. And I think she thought she was dressing Barbie. But my mother was this high and this wide, and she put on this coat. It had a big shawl collar, and the only thing, when she put it on, the only thing you could see was her head. Her hands didn't stick out of the sleeves. Oh, it was bad. And my mother, you would say, well, if somebody buys you a gift, a lot of people say, well, take it back and get something you want. Not my mother, no. She took that watch back and got a vacuum sweeper. Now, how many times and how many places have you seen cartoons and sitcoms where the husband buys a vacuum sweeper and the wife hits him over the head with it? My mother has to be the only woman that wanted a vacuum sweeper. But she didn't buy things for herself. She bought them for the house. Or she'd say, "I took that perfume back and bought Johnny some new shoes." It was bad. It was really bad. And then came the Christmas when my father made my mother cry. Yeah. But I have to tell you a little bit of the backstory. Early on in the marriage, about 5 years in, my mother went shopping for clothes or something, and she remembers that her hand got caught in the sleeve of a coat. She just yanked it out and went home. Her wedding ring was gone. She went back to the store like a crazy person, looked everywhere. She couldn't find it. She's only married 5 years and her wedding ring was gone. And I don't think she even told my father, because they had just bought that dream house and he had just started his business. My mother came from a time and a place where, hey, You lost it, too bad. Money doesn't grow on trees. And the years went by. My mother went to the thrift shop and got herself a wedding ring. But my sister had matured over time, and she heard this story, and she took my father shopping. And the Christmas that my mother cried was the year she opened up the box and found a wedding ring. And Christmas was a lot better after that. There were no more scenes. It took that man a long, long time to figure out what to buy for a Christmas present. So sometimes Christmas presents have to be specific. Somebody wants something really, really badly, and you have to figure out what it is. And sometimes Christmas presents can be something funny that they don't want and they don't need. And that's why I have a hard time. Thank you.